Tips with Toni. Tips with Toni. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Toni. Tips with Toni. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Toni. Woo.
Hello, and welcome to the Tips with Toni podcast. I'm Toni Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. Are you beginning to get real healthy or real excited about it, and you figure the best way to do it is to make a smoothie? Well, if so, listen up, because this episode is for you. Smoothies can be nutritious and delicious. However, you have to be careful how you prepare them. You also definitely want to be careful how you purchase them. Store-bought smoothies can be loaded with sugar, and they have very little protein. So the question always is, am I having this as a meal or am I having it as a snack? And how many servings are actually in this smoothie that I'm about to purchase? I would say those brands like Naked, if you take a look at the back of the nutrition facts label, the sugar content's really, really high because it's usually mostly fruit, which we know fruit in its whole form, and fruit is a natural form of sugar, so it is good. However, when we put it in the smoothie form, we lose that fiber, and it ends up being mostly juice. So when you actually read the ingredients of those smoothies, the first ingredient is usually something like apple juice. And the ironic part about it is it'll be actually, like, the label will look green and it'll say it's a green smoothie, so you think you're getting mostly vegetables, when actually the third or fourth ingredient is probably a vegetable and the first three are fruit, which means when the foods are listed in the amount that's the ingredient list on a label is listed by the amount of how much that is in that food product. So for example, if the first ingredient is apples, and then mostly of that green smoothie is going to be mostly apples, but you're probably picking it up thinking, oh, I'm eating my vegetables today. But it's really, really insignificant of how much is actually in there. So another thing about smoothies is they tend to be fruit heavy. And listen, you guys know I love fruit. It's an excellent source of carbohydrate. It's a natural form of sugar. However, when you're packing it into a smoothie form, like I've spoken about this before, having fruit in a juice form, basically it takes about 4 or 5 oranges to squeeze to get out a cup of orange juice. And you would never eat 4 or 5 oranges at one time because the fiber that's in it would make you feel full. So the reason why I'm not a huge fan of smoothies that are mostly fruit-based is because there's usually an excessive amount. However, if you're making it from home, then you can control how much fruit's going in there, and it's a great way to actually get in your fruits and vegetables. So first things first, if you're going to have it as a meal, you definitely want to make sure that you have some sort of protein in there. So if you're using something like cow's milk, there's going to be protein in there. If you're going to use something like yogurt, particularly Greek yogurt, there's going to be a little bit more protein in there. There are certain protein powders that you can add, which can be beneficial. And then you want to definitely do some fruit. So you could have 1 or 2 servings in there. A serving of fruit is usually a cup of berries or a banana. You can do a half of a banana. Bananas just tend to be very large, so they're usually 2 servings. So you could do a cup of berries and a half of a banana. Then you have your protein, which is either in a liquid form, so it's your milk, or a protein powder. And then you want to do some sort of a healthy fat. And this is if you're having it as a meal. We really want it to be substantial and filling and well balanced. And so then you would add something maybe like peanut butter or almond butter, or maybe even a half of an avocado. Throw in some chia seeds or flax seeds, and those are healthy fats that you can add into your smoothie. Now, and lastly, I almost forgot, your greens, right? So you need something like kale or spinach, and that's going to provide some sort of nutrition there. Now, if you're having it more as a snack, then we're not as regimented there. You don't have to put all that stuff in there. You can keep it pretty simple. You can do maybe a fruit, a vegetable, and a healthy fat, or a fruit, a vegetable, and a protein, whatever you want it to be. But it always really comes down to portion size and what's the goal. So this is just general health, but if you have specific goals like weight loss in mind, then you definitely want to be mindful and really measure things out and really kind of think about what is the purpose of this? Is it to keep me full for an hour or two, or is it to keep me full for 3 to 4 hours because it's a meal? So the size of which you make is going to be better. And then ask yourself, does this actually make me feel full? Or if I were to eat these fruits and vegetables, would that make me feel full? And is that a better alternative? Everyone's very different, so really it's up to you. If you have any further questions about this, definitely send me an email or message me on Instagram. You can get my email at tipswithtoni@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at tips_with_Toni. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, don't hesitate to reach out. Also, if you have been following me for a while and you know about my 6-month to food freedom program, or maybe you don't know about it and you're a new listener, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for your continuous support, or new support for that matter. Regardless of how long you've been following me, if you are getting any sort of benefits or value from these episodes and they're helping you, then chances are you would also benefit from my 6-month to food freedom program. But I want to make sure, so I have everybody go through an application process. If you're interested in learning how to eat healthy, what foods fit best for your lifestyle, and how to end the cycle of dieting so you can start living the quality of life you know you deserve, then go to the bio where you can get the application link, or go to my website, www.tipswithtoni.com/coaching, or on my Instagram, in my bio, there is an application to work with me there. What you're going to do is fill that out, be as detail oriented as possible. Once I get that, we'll set up a discovery call, which basically means that I get to learn more about you, explain more about my program, and then at the end of the call, if I think you're a good fit, I will invite you to join. If you have any other questions about my online program or just nutrition in general, you know where to find me. As always, thank you so much for listening. This is the Tips with Toni podcast. I'm Toni Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.